Salut, Yenin, et bienvenue au corps pour aujourd'hui. Alors, right guys, last lesson we started talking about our family, but not like describing what they look like. We've already done that for the first section. We were talking about who we get on with in our family and why, who we don't get on with in our family and why. We looked at all the language last lesson. Today then, I'm going to test you on that, but the big picture for today is doing a reading and listening. Now these are proper GCSE standard. The reading today could definitely be in the GCSE exam in 3 years time, 2.5 years time. So it's going to be really challenging today, which is good for you, and you guys are great. You'll learn a lot. But the reason I'm telling you this now is you might want to go back to last lesson and have a bit of revision before starting this lesson, because it's going to be tough. So it might be ideal to go back to like the slides we were looking at the vocab and seeing what you know, seeing what you can remember. We'll do a warm up here in a vocab test first, but now might be the time to go back and revise and come and start this lesson. If you're feeling confident today, that's brilliant. Let's get going. Alors mes petits choux-fleurs, vous savez ce qu'il faut faire. Il faut inventer la date pour moi s'il vous plaît et copier le titre du genre. Et pour votre contrôle de post-it aujourd'hui, on a appris comment dire les choses comme my, your, his or her or their. Voilà, donc comment dire ça en français? Complétez la grille pour moi s'il vous plaît pour votre contrôle de post-it. Put me on pause as you're doing that, guys. Hello mes petits, right guys, if you hear me now, you've restarted the lesson and you're ready to start. So, as I said today, it's all about reading and listening. We've got some proper exam reading and listening skills for you to look at to see how well you can understand descriptions of family relationships. Let's get going then. I controlled the post-it. Did you know it? It goes, mon mamé, ton tate, son sacé, and my personal favorite, le. Voilà, right guys, so these are possessive pronouns. You must know these off by heart. If you can do this test, spend more time on your homework and come back to this lesson. This is what it's all about. We're going to start with a bit of a vocabulary test, but before that, a little warm-up toute seule. Alors, avant le contrôle de vocabulaire, on va jouer Verbal Volleyball toute seule à la maison. Comment jouer toute seule sans votre partenaire? Alors, regardez et écoutez-moi. Ce qu'il faut faire, il faut dire le français puis l'anglais. Français, anglais, aussi rapidement que possible. Vous voulez un exemple? D'accord, je vais vous montrer un exemple. Je le trouve, I find him. Je le trouve, I find her. Je m'entends bien avec, I get on well with. Je ne m'entends pas avec, I don't get on well with. Je me dispute avec, I argue with. That is how it's done. You impressed with that, Claudia? Alors non, ça c'est ce qu'il faut faire. Put me on pause now. Prepare yourself. Then restart me. I'll count you down. And then pause me again because I'm going to move the slide on. You might want to time yourself. See how quickly you can do it and show me what you can do. All right, put me on pause. See what you can do. Alors, right, you should have paused me and prepared yourself. Prepare to pause me again. I'm going to count down it and then you can go for it. Time yourself if you want. 1, 2, 1, allez! Alors, bon effort. Right, guys, so next round, this is what it looks like. This time it is English to French. Let's have no preparation. I'll give you a little example. I find him, je le trouve, I get on well with. Je m'entends bien avec, je me dispute avec. I don't get on well with, je ne m'entends pas avec. I find her, je la trouve. Easy street. Are you that quick? Put me on pause now. Start your timer, see what you can do. 3, 2, 1, allez! Alors mes petits, alors bon effort. Right guys, Verbal Volleyball have warmed you up for our vocab test. This is on your handout, it's on the second page, so scroll down and find it. And it looks like this. Alors je vais expliquer en français parce qu'on fait toujours les contrôles de vocabulaire. Alors, pour question 1 et 2, c'est facile. Qu'est-ce que c'est en français? Il doit être parfait aujourd'hui. Il doit être exact pour réussir. Pour 3, 4, 5 et 6, qu'est-ce que c'est en anglais? Et pour partie 2, c'est comme d'habitude, il faut mettre le mot dans le bon espace. Voilà, donc qu'est-ce qui marche ici? Il faut mettre le mot dans le bon espace. Pour votre défi additionnel, attention, il faut traduire celui-ci en français. Attention, we've got a reflexive verb here. How do you say we argue with each other? You need those two pronouns all the time. I find her too pessimistic. This is really tough today. I'll give you 1 mark for just the verb and another mark for this bit and then a final mark for this. So you've got 3 possible marks here for the extra challenge. 8 will be a brilliant mark. Do not just look at last lesson's vocabulary. There's no challenge in doing that. I want you to really test yourself and see what you can do. So when you shut your book, just have this sheet out and see if you can get up to 8. That is your challenge for today. See what you can really do and test yourself. All right, put me on pause. I reckon 4 to 5 minutes on this. Put a timer on your phone for 4 minutes. Take a minute if you need it extra. Alors, bon courage mes petits. Put me on pause. I'll go through the answers after you're done. Alors mes petits, let's see how we've got on then. So, partie 1, c'est ici. This was a bit tougher than it looks today. There's so much vocabulary that you need to know. So here we go. He is, was, il est, she is, elle est. Now you've got to know the verb être off by heart. If you don't, stop the video now and revise it because it's that important. Je suis, tu es, il est, on est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils, elles sont. You've got to know it that well. It's such a crucial verb. Excellent start if you got these first 2. So, numéro 3, je le trouve. C'est masculin, c'est comment dire I find him, or another way of saying I think he is. Numéro 4, this is key. You might get this in your GCSE writing exam. Talk about your rapport with your family. You'll need this line. Je m'entends bien avec means I get on well with, or anything similar to that. I've got a good relationship or anything like that. Give yourself the mark. Numéro 5, je me fâche contre. You'll see this verb loads in your GCSE. Se fâcher is to get angry. So this means I get mad at, or I get angry at, or I get annoyed at. Anything that like suggests I get angry at, give yourself the mark for today. Et finalement, je me confie à. We talked about this word confie, and if you confide in someone in English, you tell them your secrets, and that's what this means. Je me confie à, I tell my secrets to someone, or I confide in. Voilà, alright guys, 6 possible marks here. Numéro 7, c'était plus difficile. Il fallait dire je me dispute avec ma sœur. Je la trouve très, and what's the only feminine one down here? Casse-pied is all you need. Now, you might have got this wrong because of the S on the end, but it's just always got an S on the end, this, because it breaks your feet. Remember we said that's how you stay annoying. So when you looked at feminine, this couldn't be it because it's masculine. This couldn't be it because it is plural. This is a verb, so this is the only one left. Now if you got that wrong, good, this is tougher today. Alors, numéro 8, je m'entends bien avec mon beau-père. Je le trouve très gentil. Voilà, it's the only one you can have. That's the only masculine singular one we've got. Et finalement, je me fâche contre mes frères. Je les trouve absolument égoïstes. This one's got to be egoist. This can't go here because it's plural, whereas this isn't. So it's got to be this way around. Guys, I know you would have dropped those 2 marks. That's why 12 is a red difficulty today. If you drop them good, you can make it back. Remember, this is worth 3 marks. If you get we argue each other together, if you get this bit as 1 mark, all the time I find her as an extra mark, and then too pessimistic is your 3rd mark. This was our extra challenge. Nous disputons tout le temps. Je la trouve trop pessimiste. So let's go for our marks. Nous disputons, or you could have on se dispute as well. Both of them work. Tout le temps, je la trouve is another mark, and then trop pessimiste is your 3rd mark. Right guys, bon effort. Add up what you've got. Give yourself a mark out of 14. Today I only need 8 out of 14. This is a really good score. 10 ou plus, tu as fait très bien aujourd'hui. Guys, give yourself a mark out how many you've done. Bon effort. If you've got under 8, you need to go back to last lesson. Spend some time practicing, because we need to know this vocabulary really well, because I'm testing you today on your reading and listening. So if you don't know the basics, you're not going to be able to do the next task. Do a bit of revision yourself, come back, and you will excel even better. If you're ready then, let's carry on. Alors mes petits, so we're looking at the reading exam today. Now, there's some rules that you must know for the reading. This is a really tricky bit of the exam. Whenever you get to a reading task, you're going to find loads of French that you don't know. Now, that is completely normal. Every student in the country doing the GCSE is going to find that. The whole point is you have to work out the unknown and use the French you do know to do well. That's why vocab's so important, because the better your vocab, the less you won't understand. But even if you spent every second of every day on memorize, you'd still find vocab you don't know. But don't worry, there's a little tactic for this. When you're stuck on a reading exam, don't think help. Get yourself through it by thinking help. So help is a little acronym we've got to help you with a difficult text like what you've got today. So first off, hold. Never jump straight into a text. You always read the questions first and analyze the questions. The questions will give you an overview of what you're looking for. They'll give you an overview of the text so you can better understand it, and it will also just tweak your mind into what to look for and what vocabulary might be important. 2, annotate the questions. Our best students, particularly at A-level, they translate the questions, they write over the top of them, they think about what to do. That just shows that's the way to do it to get the most out of the question paper. 3, if you're really stuck, highlight, underline, highlight, find whereabouts in the text it's talking about and analyze that. And then number 4, you won't understand every word, but can you work out the gist? If you don't understand it, is there a verb or a word that you do understand that looks like or something you do know or can help you work it out? So that's the tactic. You're going to have to use help today because this is a step up from what we've done before. Voilà, donc il y a 3 activités à faire. Je vais expliquer chaque activité en français. Alors, ici, vous avez le texte. Aujourd'hui, je vais vous donner un peu de contexte parce que c'est compliqué. Donc, je vais traduire le premier partie. Donc, excusez-moi, j'ai besoin de, voilà, ça. Les téléspectateurs britanniques adorent EastEnders. So, TV watchers, British TV watchers love EastEnders. Les Français regardent Plus belle la vie, il fait pas ci, fait pas ça. French people watch Life's More Beautiful or Don't Do This, Don't Do That. These are 2 soaps. This is the most famous one, Plus belle la vie. It's absolutely rubbish. If you put it on YouTube, there's full episodes on if you do want to have a look. It's like a rubbish soap like Neighbours or something. Really, like, it's a bit of a joke. So anyway, they watch this. Ici, on présente un nouveau feuilleton, CestDeFamille. Here, we're presenting a new soap, which is called It's the Family, or It's in the Family. Voilà, donc, ceci, c'est le contexte. Il faut lire le texte. Ici, il introduit les personnages et une famille nouveau pour la feuilleton. Donc, ceci, c'est votre texte pour aujourd'hui. Activité 1. Le texte est très difficile. Donc, pour vous aider, il faut lire le texte et trouver l'équivalent français de chaque phrase ici pour vous aider un peu. Ça, c'est activité 1. Activité 2, vous avez les personnes différentes qui parlent. On est d'accord avec la phrase. Donc, Priscilla, Edith, Michel, il faut écrire le nom du person ici. Voilà. Donc, think back to help. This is where I'd start. I wouldn't look at the text I've just talked about. I wouldn't look at activity 1. I'd go through these 7 sentences and see if you know what they're saying. Can you work them out? Can you translate them into English? This will be the big help for today's tough text. After, who matches it? You've got loads more people. It's not just Priscilla and Edith. So who matches these things? Et puis, après avoir fait ça, vous avez votre défi additionnel. Ici, on a 4 phrases qu'il faut traduire. Attention, c'est les verbes pronominaux et on a les prénoms possessifs aussi. C'est très difficile celui-ci, c'est défi additionnel seulement. Alors, j'ai expliqué les 3 activités qu'il faut faire. Il dit ici 15 minutes. I'd say that's a maximum. You won't take all of you 15 minutes, but 15 minutes maximum, yeah? If you want to set a timer on your phone, see what you can do. Those are 3 activities. If you haven't quite understood what to do, why don't you rewind and listen again to the French, see if you can work it out. Put me on pause. When you restart me, I'll go through all the answers. Bon courage, mes petits. This is going to be tough. Don't forget to use help. Bon courage. On y va. Alors, mes petits, right guys, I'm going to go through the answers now. How did you find that? I think you probably found it very difficult. Right guys, so let's go through the answers and see what you've got. Don't worry if you found this hard like Arthur today. It doesn't mean you're stupid. Not all of you anyway. It is a really hard text today, so don't worry about finding this challenging. That's what it's all about. I think you can be really happy, like, what marks you do get on this. So let's go for it. She looks after is elle s'occupe de. Literally, she occupies herself with. S'occuper is to occupy herself, and it's how you say look after someone. Her ex-husband is called son ex-mari s'appelle. So mari, like marriage, and then it's just like ex, like we do in English. She gets on well with. Elle s'entend bien avec. Remember, they're all reflexive verbs, so you've got this extra bit. She gets herself on with. He is interested in. Il s'intéresse à. Literally, he interests himself in. He argues with. Il se dispute avec. So we've seen like je me dispute. Remember, the verb changes, but also our pronoun's going to change to say himself or herself. She gets angry with. Elle se fâche contre. She confides in. Elle se confie à. Priscilla and Adrian love each other. Priscilla et Adrienne, same. They love is ils aiment, and then is like each other. So ils s'aiment, they love one another, and then they bicker with each other. Ils se chamaillent with the ENT. So you don't need to really know this in the il form. It's a nice bit of extra challenge. Say in the speaking exam, it said, who'd you get on with your family? And you said, I get on well with my sister, but my sister hates my brother. That would be amazing. So this is what to do if you want to do that. The ending changes like normal, but then you need all of these extra little pronouns that you can see from last lesson. Guys, even this is a tough activity today. Well done if you got all 9. Let's look at the next one. Alors, ceci, now this is a difficult text, but we're going to break it down now. So if you haven't got any of these right, just listen to me. I'll give you some words and give you some vocab. When you make a list of the things you didn't know, and that will really help you out. Donc, le premier, je me fâche parfois contre ma mère. Work out the question first. It says, I get angry. Parfois is another way of saying sometimes. There's loads of ways to say sometimes. Quelquefois, parfois, de temps en temps. So this says, I get angry sometimes against my mom. Et c'était, voilà, Priscilla qui a dit ça. There it is. Elle se fâche parfois contre sa mère. Voilà. La deuxième, je m'entends bien avec toute la famille. So here we go. This is what you need to know. All the family. I get on well with all my family. They won't say exactly that. Who said it first? C'était Thomas. Voilà. Il est ici et c'est ici. Il s'entend bien avec. Instead of all his family, they've gone with tout le monde. Now, tout le monde is how you say everyone. Tout le monde means everyone. I say it all the time in class. It literally means all the world. So that's what you say in French. Oh, I get on with all the world, which means everyone. Tout le monde, écoutez-moi. Everyone listen to me. You need to know this word. Tout le monde means everyone. If you didn't know that, write it down now. All right. So far, so good. Did you get the first two? J'espère. Alors, le troisième. Ma belle-fille et moi, nous nous disputons quelquefois. So, ma belle-fille, we didn't learn this when we looked at it, but we've done beau-frère, belle-sœur. So, belle-fille is going to be step-daughter. My stepdaughter and me, we argue sometimes. Who's got a stepdaughter who argues? C'était Michel. Voilà. So, where does he talk about? Here we go. His wife is dead. He's interested a lot in his grandkids, but sometimes he argues with Edith. Voilà, sa belle-fille. Voilà. Donc, le prochain, je m'occupe de mes enfants. Ici, je m'occupe de mes enfants. Who looks after their kids? C'est Edith. Voilà. So here we go. Who looks after the kids? Where does she say it? She's a woman. Elle s'occupe de sa famille et travaille comme coiffeuse. So it doesn't say my kids, but it says she looks after her family and she works as a hairdresser. And that's it. That tiny little bit there's all you've got. Voilà. Donc, et numéro 5 dit, je me confie à maman quand j'ai des difficultés. Let's talk about this word here. So, you will know ma mère, which means my mom, but it literally means my mother. Mon père is my dad, my father. Ma mère is my mom or my mother. You wouldn't say that usually, just like I don't think I've ever called my mom Joy. I've never called her mother. Mother? Absolutely not. We're not posh like that. So, in France, I call her maman is what you call your mum. It doesn't mean mummy, that's too babyish, yeah. Arthur still calls his mum mummy, but the rest of you won't. Mama just means mom. So, je me confie à maman quand j'ai des difficultés. Et papa is how you'd say that. Papa, mama. Papi is more like daddy, and mammy is more like mommy, if that's what you do use. But yeah, mama means mom. Je me confie à maman quand j'ai des difficultés. That says I like tell my secrets to my mom when I've got difficulties. Et c'est Priscilla qui a dit ça. Voilà. Donc, it's this next bit as well. So in the yellow, elle se fâche parfois contre sa mère, mais se confie à elle quand elle a des problèmes. Now this is cheeky, yeah, because it doesn't say her mom here, it just says elle. So this whole sentence says she gets angry sometimes against her mom, but tells her secrets to her, as in her mom, when she's got problems. That was tough. If you've got Priscilla there, you've done really well. If you're doing rubbish on this, do not worry. This is really, really hard today, guys. This is proper year 10 work. Alors, numéro 6. Je me chamaille avec ma sœur de temps en temps, mais nous nous aimons quand même. So this says, je me chamaille is like I squabble or I like get into arguments with my sister from time to time, but we love each other nonetheless. So quand même means like even though that, quand même, all the same. Or here I'd say, yeah, nonetheless. We love each other nonetheless, and that is Adrienne. Where does he say it? Here he is. Here we go. Priscilla et Adrienne s'aiment beaucoup, même mais ils se chamaillent de temps en temps. There we go. And then finally, je m'intéresse à mes petits enfants. Now this is another one I've not taught you, which is tough. Mes petits enfants. What is this person talking about? I'm interested by my little children. All your children will be little, or at least littler than you. Don't crack any jokes about me there, thank you. So, je m'intéresse à mes petits enfants. Your petits enfants and your little children, they're your children's small people. So it's how you say your grandchildren. Mes petits enfants. So mes enfants are my kids. Mes petits enfants are my grandkids. Who here's got to have grandkids? It's got to be Michelle. Voila, the granddad. Voila. So that was a really tough one. Guys, 7 marks the maximum. I'd be really happy with 3 or 4 here. Like, I really think that's a good score for the GCSE. Getting like 100%, it's not what it's about. You need about 83, 84% for a grade 9. So you're never going to get full marks on this. If you do have all 7, you've done exceptionally well. You've probably been a bit lucky. You've done exceptionally well on this. There's lots of vocab you don't know here. So why don't you make a little list of things you didn't know, look them up. That will help you. This is the level you'll need to be at in year 11, guys. So if you can do this already, well done. If not, don't worry too much about it. Yeah, you've got 2 years to work hard and to get up to this level. Alors, le défi additionnel, mes petits, if you got into this, you've done really well. So this is using reflexive verbs for other people. If you want more on this, go back to last lesson and I had a table with one of the verbs to help you out, or you can email me. I'll send you some stuff about it if you're interested. So here, you have to be careful with our reflexive verbs, which have that extra little bit. And then we had to change for the possessive pronoun like my, your, his, her. So this is what you should have. We look after our brother would be nous nous occupons de notre frère. So let me explain this one. You need nous, which looks, you need nous, which looks crazy. Because you want to say we, ourselves, and then our verb changes because it's nous, and then it's notre frère. So this looks crazy, doesn't it? Nous, but this is how you say it. Just to say, like, I am called je m'appelle. If you want to say we are called, like me and my sister say we are called Ennis, we'd say nous nous appelons. We call ourselves. Same thing. All right, number 2, no surprises. There you get on. Ils s'entendent with an E-N-T, bien avec, and then it's leur sœur. You get yourself angry against your stepmother. In the tu form would be tu te fâches contre ta belle-mère, and then in the vous form, vous fâchez contre votre fils is how you say son. Sorry, I forgot about that. So here we go. You see my verb. Oh, that should have an S on the end. There we go. The S is correct. The verb needs to change. This needs to change, and then remember your my, you, his, her, etc. Voila. If you got all these wrong, don't worry. This is really advanced French. We do a bit more of this for year 12 when the course starts, which shows you how tough it is. You don't need to know this for GCSE, but if you can show it, it's hard to get onto the level 8 and level 9 because it's just showing something a bit different. So in the writing exam, If you were asked to talk about your family and relationships, talk about who you get on with. You can get up to a 7 or an 8 with that. But if you throw some of these in about different people, this is really advanced French. This is how to get the 8 and the 9. And I know you're only in year 9, but now's the time to work towards those top grades, guys. Alors mes petits, right guys, so now we're going to test you on a really tough GCSE level listening. Now, help still works for this because on the latter part of your paper, if you do foundation, it'll be 3 questions that are completely in French. For higher, it's more than that. So knowing and getting the most out of the question paper is still crucial. Let me go to the next slide and show you what it's like. So this is on your sheet today. You know how to get onto the link hopefully by now, but I will explain in French. So first thing you need to do is analyze these questions. What does it mean? What language do you know? What can you work out? This will give you an overview to think about. So when the recording starts, no pauses in it, you're able to think and pick out what it is. So go through each of these. I'd write the English next to them to make sure you know what everything says. I spend 3-4 minutes on that. Et qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire après? Alors non, ça c'est l'activité de préécoute. Pour l'activité, il faut visiter la page de web ici et il va vous demander pour un code. Il faut copier et coller le code ici. C'est sur ta feuille aussi. Après avoir fait ça, vous avez l'enregistrement. Il faut écouter l'enregistrement et ils vont parler des personnes. Il faut circler la bonne réponse. D'accord? Alors donc, put me on pause. Go and do that. The next few slides are the transcripts. You can check your answers. Because you're in control, you can pause this and re-listen to it as much as you want. That won't be cheating today. This is really tough. Take your time and really get the most out of this and listen to this really long recording. Good luck, everyone. On y va. Right guys, so here's some of the recording. This is talking about Gaspard and Agathe. I know this is tough today and without me there to like clue you up to what number you're on, it's going to be really difficult. So put me on pause, read through this transcript, see if you didn't get the answers, see if you can get it now. If you did, check your answers now and change them if you want. Put me on pause, have a little read through, see what you can do. Alright, so you should be ready to move on. There's some really nice language in here. So, fille unique means an only daughter, so an only child. And then fils is son. She's got a son who's called George. Elle s'entend bien avec son fils parce qu'il est sympa, sagicule. Par contre, I love this. Les rapports is your relationships between Agathe et son père sont orageux. Love this word. It means stormy. An orage is like a thunderstorm. So the relationship between them is stormy. Elle se fâche parce qu'ils vont contre lui. A lovely vocab here. If you didn't know those words, write them down. If you can use this, say like in your writing exam, you say, les rapports entre moi et mon père sont orageux. That is beautiful. That is proper level 9 French using like idiomatic language like that. So write that down. Les rapports sont orageux. Reports, relations are stormy. I love that. Let's look at the next bit of the transcript. Et voilà. Put me on pause, guys. Have a little read through. Check your answers. If you want to change them, do it now. Alors, right, guys. So before we move on to the answers, I just want to pick out some more beautiful vocabulary. Now you can see how difficult this listening is. Remember, this is exam listening. This is at the exam level and we've got a while to go to there, but it's good for you to be tested like this. So some lovely language here. Ses parents adoptifs is obviously his adopted parents. It's someone who's adopted. And then this one here, when they're talking about Sarah, this has got all the nice things. So finally, elle se chamaille souvent avec sa sœur. So she bickers quite often with her sister Julie. Mais en fin du compte, this means like, it's how you'd say like at the end of the day, or all things considered. En fin de compte, elles s'aiment. They get on well. And then this bit's lovely. Un terrible drame a marqué l'enfance de Sarah. So a terrible drama affected or has marked Sarah's childhood. I love that. Could you put that in your work? A terrible drama affected my childhood. That might explain a few things about you all. Yeah, so talk about this. Un terrible drama a marqué l'enfance de Sarah. Love that. It says, her twin brother est mort. Voilà, died à l'âge de 6 ans, etc., etc. I don't want to give too much away. So this is a beautiful bit of French. Did you understand it when you listen to it? Let's go through the answers. So guys, this is what you should have. Le père de Gaspard est mort. He's dead. Now, this is a word we haven't seen, but they'll expect you to know it. Mort is died. You will see this. When you go to France, on all the war graves, it says mort pour la patrie, died for their country. Numéro 2, ils s'entendent bien avec, c'est sa mère. Agathe s'entend bien avec son fils Hassan. Agathe ne s'entend pas bien avec son père. Dylan est égoïste. And finally, Sarah se dispute beaucoup avec sa sœur Julie. Right, guys, 6 marks possible for that. I'll be happy with 2 out of 6 on such a tough activity. You've done so well today. Let's talk about your homework. Ignore this slide. Voilà, les devoirs. So we're going to be doing a writing assessment in one of your lessons next week. Now, I know what you're thinking, how can we do a writing assessment? We don't have our pink books, we're not in class. Like, what if we look at something? How can we trust everyone? We can't. We're just going to do it as best we can. I want you to treat it properly and to treat it just like you would an assessment in class, which means no using your book. Do it blind, test yourself, see what you can do. That's the best way to do this. There's no point in like using your book and using your vocabulary and using your dictionary and writing me something, because it's not testing your level of French. It's a bit of a waste of time, because I'm going to mark it from home and I'm going to send you some feedback. And if you've just looked loads of stuff up, the feedback you get is going to be pretty useless and not worthwhile. Whereas if like you've done it honestly and you've made like honest mistakes that you're making, we'll target them and we'll correct them. So when it comes to the real GCSE, you'd have improved. Whereas if you've just like made it up and looked stuff up, when it comes to real GCSE, you're not going to have the feedback you want. You're not going to do well. There's only one assessment that matters, and that is the real GCSE one. Because you're at home, this writing assessment won't count. We're not going to use the data for set changes, for entries, for reports, just because you're at home, and it won't count. So you might as well just go for it for real, because this is like a free mark. Like, I probably won't even give you a grade for it. You've just got to go for it and see what you can do, and I'll just give you some feedback to help you out. So that's coming next week. You've already been set this homework with like the tests and stuff. This is the next one. I put up the writing strip. Now you know how this works. I'll give you, or like on the PowerPoint and on the handout slide next time. Oh, I've rubbed it out a bit. I'll give you this red strip. So you need to learn the green off by heart. Test yourself on how well you know the green. Fold this over or cover it or whatever, and then see if you can complete it with the English as well. And then fold this over just with the English in the first letter. Can you say all of these phrases? This will really help you out to get some high level language into your assessment when you do it next week. So that's for next week, guys. Any questions about the assessment, email me, let me know. I love getting emails from all you all, because it's pretty boring lockdown, isn't it? So right, guys, make sure you go for that. You've done really well today on what is a really hard lesson. I reckon this is the hardest lesson we've ever done. So well done for today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Guys, take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time. Alors, merci mes petits. Au revoir.